Welcome once again to Octane Mobile Gaming. We're halfway through the first day of the event, and today we normally do a possible deck combination. But there is not many cards within my collection that's able to perform really well within the event. So I've come up with two combos, and I'm gonna talk a bit about those two combinations. So the first combination is this one, which consists of the event card. It's also got the Master Collection card, which I was fortunate to get from the 500 gem vault. Really good. However, I'm not able to craft the ultimate form because I need a lot more season coin to craft the ultra rare. So I'm not gonna concentrate on crafting the ultimate form because that will be quite expensive and I'm not prepared to spend any money. Relentless Scholar is the ultimate form that's got the killer skill. It's a chaotic killer ultimate form. The chaotic killer increase on this one, however, is 400% rather than the 900% on the current ultimate form. Enlightened Yokai is the card, one of the cards that's going to be producing most of my power gems, and this is the ultra rare. Now the ultra rare is the one that gives it the potential to create far more power gems than it would do on its own. This is one combination that I came up with, and this one is focusing more on the ability of the cards to increase their attack. So this is an arcane killer deck, and it's primarily focused on the ability for the ultimate form alongside the ultra rare to increase arcane killer's attack. Now it will increase arcane killer's attack by 250% and an additional 1% for every 4 arcane killer intensity. On the ultimate form, however, it increases arcane killer attack by 1% for every 3 arcane killer intensity. So combining these two together, it will give you 500% boost to your arcane killer's attack and an extra 1% for every 3 arcane killer intensity and 4 for the ultra rare. And I'm running 4 arcane killer card on this combination. I've got Relentless Scholar to give it the 400% boost from the killer skill. Now these two decks are vastly different. This one, when it gets up to its maximum damage output, it can put out round about 6 to 7 trillion. This one, however, can put out roughly about 9 to 10 trillion, which makes it vastly more powerful than this one. I've tried using Circuit Break Ilaria to boost the arcane killer attack quite significantly. However, it makes the deck quite complex to play and it is not really enjoyable to play. So that one is no good. This one was a deck that I put together to see if just using the killer skill from Relentless Scholar along with two other ultimate forms, two other ultimate forms, I was able to do any significant damage to the bosses. This one isn't really able to put out over it's not really able to put out 2 trillion damage. Even though it's got 3 ultimate forms, the killer skill, and the ability to fill the board with power gems, it just isn't able to compete within the event, which is really a shame because it took me a long time to collect these cards, and I wouldn't say it was expensive because, as you can see, only Yokai is at 2 pink star, and I got really lucky getting the second ultra rare to take it up to 2 pink star. But it did take me a lot of time, and as we know, time is money. So spending your time to play the game, to collect stuff, to actually build your deck, it's really expensive in the grand scheme of things because you're spending like 4 hours a day playing the events to collect stuff, it's really cutting into your time that you could be spending doing other things, spending with your family and all of that. So time is money, so it doesn't matter if you don't spend your actual money. Spending your time is really expensive anyway, so that should account for something. So what we're gonna look at the three combinations in action. At the moment, I haven't got any keys because I haven't been playing quite a lot. I'm on the night shift, so it's really difficult when I'm on the night shift because I spend most of my day actually sleeping, and during the nights I'm working, so it really cuts into my game time. Okay, so we're gonna see with this one the maximum. Well, it won't put out a lot of damage against that boss, so we need a boss with a bit more oomph, a bit more health. Okay, let's see it against an eternal boss. So first up, what we're gonna do, we're gonna look at this combination. Now this combination is what I would call 3.0. Rather, I would call this combination 3.0/3.1, being that if you look at this ultimate form and look at the killer skill, so it's ultimate arcane killer 3. It will increase light slayer damage by 900% while arcane enemies are present. So there's a 900% boost from a 1 pink star ultimate form. This is a 1 pink star ultimate form, but however it's got ultimate chaotic killer 1, which gives you 400%. So the difference between the two ultimate form is that this one has got chaotic killer 1, not chaotic killer 3, and I would guess that the current ultimate form has got chaotic killer 3, which makes it a bit more powerful. Now all of this came into effect in December, just before Christmas, when we got our water commander deck, which was the Supreme Santa deck, which changed everything within the game. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get into the fight. Now I'm not expecting this deck to be miraculous. I'm not expecting it to do very well at all, because the current meta focuses mainly on boosts. So while the last method that came to an end in December was focused mainly on power gem production, the current method is mainly focused on boosts. So you got your damage boost, you got your attack boost, and when you've got cards that increase your attack boost and your damage boost, you're gonna do way more damage. So as you can see, I'm doing just over 3 trillion damage with that particular combination. Well, just over 4 trillion. So that combo enables us to deal 4.7 trillion damage, which is not too bad. But going up against a, say, 900 trillion boss in a fight, that's not really gonna work out very well, because you have to be able to deal significant damage over short periods of time. So you have to be able to deal a minimum of, say, 70 trillion damage in a Slayer event to actually compete against other people within the league that you're in. Now, if you're in Legend League, you have to be able to deal quite significant damage to finish anywhere within the top 100. And if you're in Emperor League, you have to be able to deal at least 50 to 60 trillion damage and be able to sustain that damage output over not really long period of time, because the fights aren't going to be relatively long in a Slayer event. So as you can see in this fight, We aren't doing as well as we've done against the Guild Boss. And this deck has got a quite significant cooldown because of the Swine Lord Strike team. So let's go again and see the damage output that we've got on this one. So as you can see, we got a full board of Power Gem, where we're just not finding that boost of power. So as you can see, 1.2 trillion for Relentless Scholar and a bit more for the Yokai team. Swine Lord Strike team isn't really doing significant damage. So if you've got something like this and say you got the main card, you can swap this Swine Lord Strike team and put in your main card. It will do vastly more damage than Swine Lord Strike team. But I put together this combination just to show you that if you've got a deck like this, you can compete okay within the event based on the league that you're in, but you're not gonna really finish in the top 100 in the world. You can complete the collection, which is quite important to get your season coins, because the season coins are important to actually collecting ultimate forms going forward. However, next week is the last event within this season. The new season starts soon. So if you've got your season coins, you need to start thinking about what you're going to do with the season coins by next event. So let's see our damage. So we just done about 22 trillion damage in that fight using 3 keys. So not really that brilliant. We're going to look at one more of our combos. So let's see if we can find a boss with a bit of health. They're mainly solo bosses, and as you can see, I haven't got any solo keys whatsoever. So you're gonna have to kill a few guild bosses. And let's focus on this one. I'm gonna use 3 keys for this one. Now I've noticed a massive difference between this event and the last event. The last Slayer event we had was really good in the fact that we had quite a number of keys in the event wherein you weren't struggling for keys. This event I'm actually struggling for keys. Last event I didn't struggle for keys at all. When the event finished, I had quite a lot of keys left, but it didn't bother me none. And the reason why it didn't bother me is because I wasn't struggling for keys whatsoever. I'm not the sort of person that's gonna start complaining about, oh, I've got 60,000 guild boss keys and I've got 10,000 solo boss keys and I wasn't able to use them all. Right. If you're gonna complain about stuff like that, you're a sad person. So now this event, because a few people complain about having too much keys the last event, keys has been drastically reduced. So I'm actually struggling for keys. So to get 3 keys, I have to kill 3 guild bosses to get 3 keys to attack 1 boss. And attacking 1 boss with a non-event deck, and I'm not gonna really do very well. So I'm primarily focused on enjoying the events rather than actually competing against everybody in the world. So let's go and see if we can find a boss. Here's one. And that's the deck I'm using. Let's focus on Arcane Killer. So the higher we get our intensity, the more damage our deck will put out. So we need to get our intensity high rather quickly. So I could use my skill there, but I'm gonna hold off because every turn my deck actually creates a bit more power gem. So I'm gonna activate I'm gonna activate my 2 Master Collection card. Should have activated my Ultra Rare as well. Should have activated all my cards because increase arcane killer attack. No. So as you can see, the damage is okay, but not really that significant. Again, we're gonna create, so we're gonna activate these 3 cards. We're gonna take the attack. So when we're attacked, we activate that one, take the boost. So as you can see, my damage is going up as my intensity increase, but because it's not a arcane event, it's a chaotic event, I have to be breaking arcane chaotic shield, I should say. I'm not able to generate my intensity as quickly as I would like. Okay, so I'm gonna activate our battle skills now. Yep, gonna take the attack, and then we're gonna see what's the damage output. So that's the last attack. We're all out of time. So let's see the damage output now. And damage output has gone up, not significantly, but quite a bit. And that's that combination in action. Not too bad, but not really brilliant. Let's see the damage that we've done against that boss. So we've done 21 trillion. So it was a big improvement on the last deck. Massive improvement on the last deck. So now let's kill 3 more bosses and then see if we can go up against another boss to see the last combination in action. I think it's really a shame that we spend so much time collecting a lot of these cards and quite a number of them haven't really got much use. Primarily event cards. The event cards, you collect them. Most of us don't really use them in the event anyway if you've got the full deck. And then going forward, the only use they've got is actually to use as historical cards to collect collect 1 or 2 season coins. That's all they're good for. And you've got them in the inventory and they're not very useful. It was my wife that introduced me to this game, and she loved it at the beginning, but she got quite fed up of collecting a new deck every week, every event. She has to collect a new deck, and she said, I can't be bothered with that. I just keep collecting decks after decks after deck, cards after cards, and most of the cards that I'm collecting after the event, they have no use. So she gave up on the game. And I think a lot of people has gotten to that place where they're fed up of going after a new deck every week. So they've actually given up on the game. So we're gonna go up against this one and let's see what this deck is actually capable of doing. I like the game. I really like the game. A lot of time I get fed up, I get angry, but I keep playing the game because I'm hoping that Network will eventually strike the balance. They'll actually find that balance where there's a balance between what they earn and what they give to us as the gaming community, because there can be a balance where people don't mind spending a bit of cash, and when they haven't really got the cash, they can still use what they've got and perform relatively well within the events. because at the moment it is about the people who have got the money, who are able to actually spend on getting a deck, and people who haven't got the money, who are totally free to play. So the free to play players primarily rely on luck, while the pay to play players are relying primarily on cash. And there's a big difference between somebody who's got the ultimate form and somebody who hasn't got the ultimate form. Even somebody like myself who's got an old ultimate form, there's a big difference between having an old ultimate form and having the latest ultimate form. And a significant difference between having the killer skill and not having the killer skill. Which I don't say it's a bad thing, but it's an extreme between having the ultimate form for the current event and having a whole ultimate form. The extreme is, it's a massive extreme. Let's see damage output. So 2 trillion for the Master Collection card, 1 for the event card. So that one is okay. Let's see the damage output. So the damage output was 23. So almost round about this, roughly the same amount of damage output with this combination, like the last one and the last one that I use. I was able to get finisher, I was able to get participation and 5% damage. Wasn't able to get 10% damage. So that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for 5 to 10% damage, because that's the best I can do with the combinations that I've got. So I'm focusing on just enjoying the event going forward. The collection is rubbish apart from the season coins and the wardens and the gems that you get at the start. There's not much in the season collection. There's not much to the season collection anyway. Not much to the season collection. Not much to the collection. And all I'm doing with the wardens are just, I get the wardens and I dust them just to get more pink dust. Pink dust is very hard to come by. So those are some of the combinations that I've actually came up with. There are combinations that will able to compete within the event to complete the collection, and you can do relatively well if you're in the, say, Kings League and the Emperor League, but Legend League you're not gonna do very well if you haven't got the ultimate form, and that's why I don't bother with Legend League. I used to want to be in the Legend League and stay in the Legend League, but I realized that it's very stressful, it can be very demanding, and it's just too competitive, because Legend League is for pay-to-play players, not for free-to-play players or average spending players. I think Kings League and Emperor League is the leagues for free-to-play players and average spending players. That's where you get more enjoyment, especially Kings League. Because I was in Kings League 2 weeks ago and it was really enjoyable. The event was really nice. Really enjoyed last event because I was in Kings League. Now I'm in Emperor League. It's a bit more demanding, a bit more challenging, but I'm still enjoying it rather than when I used to be in Legend League. But is what is. We'll just enjoy ourselves. So that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully next week the deck will be quite good. Hoping it will be good because it's the last deck of the current season. It's a fire deck as well, and I kind of lean towards the fire decks. So I'm hoping that will be a quite brilliant deck. Yeah. So like, subscribe, and as always, this is Octane saying peace, enjoy the event, and stay safe. Bye for now.